Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I put on my first foreign currency trade somewhere around 1990, 1991. Yes, I know, a long time ago. And back then I was trading foreign currencies. I was also doing trades in the futures and options markets of commodities like coffee, sugar, and cocoa. Now, since then, for many years, I've been in and out of the stock market, primarily day trading. Now, you would think with all that experience and knowledge that when I jumped into crypto that I wouldn't have got caught off guard. But guys, I did. And I had to fix this one issue that really put me in a place that I should have never gotten myself into. And it wasn't a big deal and it wasn't that bad, but it was something that I had to fix. Now, once I dove into it and started talking to people, guys, it happens to almost every single person. And if you're watching this, it probably happened to you. Now, what is that issue? Well, we start trading crypto or investing in crypto, and 2, 3 months goes by, or 6 months, whether we made money or lost money. We look around one day and we realize we've got 20, 25, 50 different positions. We've stacked all kinds of bags and we have multiple wallets everywhere and we can't even keep track. And we realize what we started to do was one day we FOMO in, the next day, we felt the FUD and we dumped over here and we bought over there. All kinds of craziness. Because, guys, even with my knowledge of the past, pretty much there's no other sector of investing in the world, whether it's the stock market or real estate or, say, gold and silver, you don't have to deal with the hyped up noise and the fear and the FUD on this level whatsoever. Well, that happened to me. And if it happened to you, or if it's something you want to guard against, if you're just getting started, this video is for you. What I've done is I've created a 10-step crypto portfolio roadmap. Now, it's going to give you the structure that will help you build a custom portfolio strategy and game plan that fits your amount of money and your risk tolerance to hopefully get you to where you want to be. Because, guys, I'm here to tell you the number one thing that's going to keep anyone from being successful is not having a game plan and breaking the rules that we're going to set up in this video that you need to live by. Now, here's the good news. Once you create this and understand it, you can relax. You're not going to FOMO in. You're not going to let the FUD get to you. You're not going to miss all those opportunities to sell or to buy because you've got a game plan. So no matter what happens tomorrow, you wake up and the market's on fire, just pumping and pumping, you know what to do. You've already planned out your strategy. If you wake up tomorrow and the market's sideways or crashing, you know what to do because you're on top of it. And either way, you're not going to have a panic attack. You're not going to chase the market. You're not going to FOMO in. None of that. We're going to be able to relax. So I want you to watch this video, download it, and keep it so that you can have it as a reference. Now, I'm going to put this video in a playlist because after this video in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to build out probably 10 different portfolios with different risk levels and risk and trading strategies. And you'll be able to go through the entire thing. In the future, I'm going to build a course. Now, that being said, before we get into this video, if you look through this information and you think you're going to need some help, I've got an offer for you at the end of this video. And we'll talk about that at the end. So stay tuned. Now, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss the portfolios I'm going to be building for the future. Now, step number one in building your portfolio you need to ask yourself, why are you building this portfolio? Why are you investing in crypto? Because, guys, that may seem trivial, but it's very important. Whether you're trying to build money for your family in the future, you want to build and set some money aside for your kids' college fund, or if you just want to rock and roll and try to get wealthy, you need to understand, why am I doing that? What is it that I want? So that's step number one. Now, step number two is, and this is a big one, how much money am I willing to lose or willing to invest? Because what happens to the majority of us, we don't really have that game plan, and we just keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and then all of a sudden we're out of money. We've put in too much money. We wish we'd have put in more money. Something like that's going to happen. And then when an opportunity arises, if we didn't plan correctly, we don't have any cash on the side. So we really need to get the amount straight up front, and you can adjust that over time, but you're going to adjust it from a calm place when you're organized. Now, what is the third step? What is your risk tolerance? Do you just want to stay as conservative as you can? Now remember, this is crypto. None of it's conservative, but you can just stack maybe Bitcoin and ETH, or you can do ICOs, or you can rock and roll with the meme coins. There's all types of strategy, and none of them are right or wrong. They just need to fit you. And quite frankly, guys, if you have the right strategy, I personally believe, and the reason I started this channel is I think anyone, the average person, can change their financial future in crypto if they have a right game plan and if they educate themselves and know what to do and how to capitalize on the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years that's coming down the pipe. I really do. I've never seen anything like this in my many years of investing. Now, that being said, we've got to have a strategy. Am I going to just be a trader? Am I going to stack long-term bags and hodl? Am I going to dollar cost in? Am I going to dollar cost out? What am I going to do? Am I going to trade long term, or am I going to trade bull run to bull run? Guys, you got to figure that out and stick to it. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Now, the fifth step. What do I need in place to be successful? What tools, charts, data, access to research, what do I need? We got to accumulate that and get it organized, right? Be prepared. You don't want the market to take off and some FUD start and you're trying to run around and try to find information. You got to have that in one place. Now, the sixth step, what knowledge do you need to learn? Are you going to need to learn how to use MetaMask? Are you going to need to learn how to put your tokens in cold storage? What do you need to learn? You may need to just learn to use your credit card or wire money into an exchange. Depends on what your goals are. But we need to go ahead and square that away. Now, once all that's done, number 7 is plan your plan, which is basically putting all those things together and creating your plan of attack. What's my first step? What am I going to do? Lay all that out. Now, step number 8, we got to create rules. Are we going to use leverage or no leverage? If we're going to use leverage, I'm never going to use, say, more than 5x or 10x leverage. Whatever your rules are, and there's no right or wrong. But do I sell into FOMO? Am I ever going to chase the market under any circumstances? Do I buy into FUD or do I sell into FUD? Am I going to panic? Get your rules, and they're my truths and my rules. And guys, I'm going to tell you, once you put on a trade, there should never be anything that can happen that throws you off. When you put on a trade, And I'll give you an example, and I don't want to get off track, but I bought Solana. I started buying Solana at under $100. I'm doing this by memory. So I dollar cost averaged in down to 85, and then it got to like 56, and I was dollar cost averaging in all the way. That made me check myself. When it was at 56, and this was pre FTX collapse, I started thinking, whoa, why am I not excited? If Bitcoin went to $1,000, I would jump up and down tomorrow. But why was I questioning myself? So I had to go back down the rabbit hole and stick to my rules. Why did I get into Solana? Has anything changed? At that time, nothing had changed. Long story short, we know what has happened. Well, here's where I'm at. Am I still in Solana? Absolutely. And I'm still stacking. Now, why is that important? Good or bad, guys, nothing has fundamentally changed. Solana is still great tech, and it still has a great ecosystem. It still has a great team, a great roadmap. I think it still has a great future. None of that has changed because I didn't get into Solana because FTX was behind it, right? I got into it for the reasons that I just mentioned, and none of that has changed. And until I see the developers stop building or they run out of money, right, or the team or the structure or the technology totally fails, because remember, guys, it's in beta. So when it has bad days and shuts down for a couple hours, I don't panic. It's in beta. So I'm sticking to my guns, and good or bad, I've already stacked and stacked and stacked, and I'm going to run it to the end because I'm not going to wreck myself by not sticking to my rules for whatever that's worth. Now, number 9, implement and work your plan to the T. I know it sounds like number 7, but that is just to get you started. When I say implement and work your plan, that's once we're putting on the positions, just like I mentioned with Solana. Here, I'm putting on the bag. Here's my future goals. Here's the amount I want to stack. This is my goal if it goes down. This is my goal if it stays sideways. This is my goal if it starts to pump. This is how I'm going to buy and sell. And this is kind of my timeline. Now, for me, majority of my stuff outside of my trading and some long-term bags that are just pocket change, I pretty much invest bull run to bull run. I will empty almost everything I got at the end of the next bull run except my Bitcoin. That's a whole different story, but I will sell. My intentions 100% is to get back into cash and revisit where the world is and where my money situation, my portfolio, and all that. We'll revisit that after the next bull run is done. Now, number 10, you need to stay focused to those 9 steps, especially the rules. And if you don't stick to the rules, guys, I'm going to promise you, you will get wrecked. You might break one of your own rules. Now, they're your rules, guys. There's no right or wrong, but you break your rule, you may get away with it 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times, but then next thing you know, you get wrecked. They're there to protect you and make you successful. Now, here's the good news. If you stick to your rules, you're going to have at least a 10x better opportunity to be successful in crypto. I truly believe that. Now, if you do this, right, if you do these steps and you do this in number 10, you will be prepared for whatever happened, like I mentioned before. And you'll be able to relax, and you'll see the hype and you'll see the FUD, but it's not going to bother you because you already got a game plan that fits your risk tolerance. So hopefully, guys, that helped you. But now we're going to get into the conclusion. So basically, successful comes from a successful mindset. Guys, I can't tell you enough how important that mindset is, especially, like I said, in crypto. The hype and the noise and the misinformation and the panic, whoo, it's crazy, and I love everything about it. But guys, if you don't have the right mindset, like for instance, it's not easy to keep stacking Solana when it breaks 20, when it breaks 15. It's not easy. And just like when you have a bag that you plan on holding for whatever amount of time and you sell early because it felt good, when then it runs, 6 months later, it does a 12x, a 20x, and you're already sold out of that position. But your initial goal was to keep it through the end of the bull run. That's how you get wrecked, guys. And it all comes down to your mindset. Now, the last thing I'm going to say to you guys, and I say this with love, but you have to take full responsibility for your decisions and your outcome. This is your money. This is not financial advice, guys. This right here is life advice. If you don't take full responsibility, you will get wrecked. You can't follow someone that, say, gave you misinformation and blame it on them. If someone tells you to buy a really high risk token or a low risk token and it goes to zero, you can't blame that person. I mean, look what has happened in crypto. Look what happened with FTX. Most people would have said that was the most secure place to put your money, especially the average person on the street. Terra, the only reason I didn't get wrapped up in Terra was because it was exploding so fast. When I first got into crypto, I felt like I missed it, and I watched it grow and grow and explode over time. Well, I had all the intentions in the world to stack Terra, especially when they were backing their stablecoin with Bitcoin. I really thought when they finished doing that, that would be the number one stablecoin and Terra would be a world beater and it might jump in front of Bitcoin, but I really thought it had a good chance at that time to get in front of Ethereum. But look what happened. Now we can see that, and I get it. Oh, everyone saw that coming now. No, you didn't. But my point is, you got to take responsibility, because whether you make $1 million in crypto or you lose everything you got, it's on you, guys. It's absolutely on you. Now, that being said, here's the opportunity, and I'm going to leave a link in the description. And I told you I'm going to put all this in a playlist and teach people how to build different portfolios that we're going to build out. And I'm going to build a course. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the first 10 people that want to work with me, and it's going to be a give and take. Now, what I want to do is going to be kind of like a beta program. I'm going to help you build out your portfolio, these 10 steps, and you'll have a lot of access to me, because once I figure it out, I should be able to put all this together in about an hour. But the way I see this going, these 10 people that work with me in the beginning, we're probably going to do 3, 4, maybe even 5 different phone conversations of building their portfolio. Now, they're not going to be real long conversations, maybe 10, 15 minutes at a time, but you'll have a lot more access to me, because I'm going to try to figure out exactly what I need to put in my future course. So it's a win-win. You'll have more access to me, and I'll have access to what your thoughts are. I want your help in that scenario. Now, that's going to be $250. And like I said, what we're going to do is I'll take a look at your portfolio, and if you want, I'll actually give you my input on the tokens you already have. Now, that's not going to be financial advice, but if you want me to just give you my thoughts on what you've already stacked, I'll be glad to do that. But the purpose of working with me is to build your portfolio game plan and your roadmap, that fits your personality. Because guys, if you put $1,000 in a crypto tomorrow and it's a rug pull, if that bothers you, and or you have a bad weekend or even a bad day, that's not what you need to be even looking at. So we got to figure out what your game plan is. Are you going to be very conservative? Are you going to be rock and roll or somewhere in between? And most of us will be somewhere in between, but I'll help you build that diversified portfolio, and we can talk about which sectors you're comfortable with. Maybe you have some knowledge in a certain area, but we'll go through all that directly with me. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave a link down below. Just send me an email and we'll get that set up. And like I said, it's going to be $250 and I'll help you build out your custom portfolio roadmap. And I think we'll find a win-win. That's all I got for you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like I said, I don't want you to miss these next portfolios because they're going to be from A to Z. They're going to be conservative to rock and roll. We'll go over probably 100 different projects that I think should be in different portfolios. So hopefully everyone's going to learn a lot. And I can get your feedback during that process, which just leads to more and more knowledge, which is what I really like. Anyway, let me know in the comments section what you think. If you want to reach out and work with me directly, send me the email in the link, and I'll also pin it above in the comments section and in the description. That being said, guys, hit that like button. Share this if you think someone needs my help or just needs free information that can really help them, because I believe in everything I just put out to you guys. Remember, none of this financial advice. That's all I got for you guys. Hit that like button. Come back. Be part of this community. Take care.